We're having a moment down here in this bottom, looking at that full moon, but we have to rewind the clock right now. We have to go back about a year to start the story with this buck. The story between what happened last year and tonight is simply incredible. We can't wait to share it. Go for a little lift here. Obviously, we've got a doe that's already moving, and daily, you know, you look at DeerCast, some days it says great, some days it says okay, some days it says bad, and a lot of that comes down to when the deer move. Today we've got a good, and what I've noticed, the better the prediction, the earlier they move, the worse the prediction, the later they move to not at all. So if you get a poor or a bad, you might go, well, I shouldn't go hunting. Well, still go hunting, but think through your tactic. Don't go somewhere where it takes a lot or a long movement for them to get to you. Push tighter to the bed on those nights and try and be close, because they're not going to move as early, they're not going to move as far. So make sure you're close enough to take advantage of those types of conditions. Tonight, we need good weather, good movement for it to work here. She's on her feet early, it's 4:40. So that's a very good sign, and it matches what I'm seeing in DeerCast. Man, that's a big deer. Yeah, he's a huge body. See the other one? Yeah, I got the one. Okay. It's the 4-year-old. I mean, we've been sitting here all night, and then boom, 4 bucks. I mean, I've never seen anything like this before, where they all walked at once. I don't know if they were bedded together or close or what. These two popped out right here in the draw, and then those other two came down the walking strip. There's that big 9. He's a big mature sucker too. Big massive booger. Actually got a tiny G4 on the right. Turn the tactic wheels on. They're on. They're on. Okay. so quick. We've been sitting here since 3:45. And then all of a sudden, all at once, they all moved. And there was a big mature 9 coming straight to the scrape tree. So I got my bow, I got ready. I was going to try and shoot him there at the scrape tree, but we put those in certain angles to try and get a broadside, quick, clean, ethical kill. And he never really worked it to where he was broadside to me just for a split second. And then he started to leave it, and then he walked straight at us. And then quartered right under us. There's a pond right below us, so I didn't have the angle. And then he got outside of my window, so I guess that's the way it goes. Maybe we'll meet up with him again, but this was just, it was just phenomenal. And then another big mature deer walked behind us to the pond. That's one of the reasons this particular corner is so good. There's water right here, particularly in dry years like we're having this year. Just phenomenal. And then a big 10. I think there's a giant 10 in here. That's what I'm really looking for. But that 9 was on my list as well because he's a big mature deer. But that's insane to see all those deer at the exact same time. I don't ever remember that happening before. That was nuts, nuts.
Man, that close encounter is still working on me. It eats at you as a bow hunter. When you've got him in your mind, you're like, he's dead, and it could not have been further from the truth. Well, we continued to hunt, and finally, a couple weeks later, south-southwest wind, conditions are perfect. Wade and I slide into a tree stand of a morning, and guess who shows up?
Well, good morning. We are here. We are November the 2nd, and Wade and I are going to go get in a tree that we had a really good sit in not long ago. I killed a doe out of this tree earlier, and we just feel like these deer be coming up out of this bottom field and filtering into these draws. We got the perfect wind and literally the perfect conditions for it. High 20s, low 30s, south-southwest wind at anywhere from 5 to 10 this morning. So we're pretty excited to get in there and see what we see this morning. Austin's going to Missouri, so they're running down there, and Wade and I are getting up a tree and having some fun in Iowa. Can't wait to get in there.
Well, there's always that love of a frosty morning walk-in. It reminds me of back in the day, 25, 30 years ago. These were the days we used to couldn't wait to get in the tree. Right around 27, 30 degrees, somewhere in there. Light south-southwest, 30.2. Honestly, it can't be more optimum than it is right now for moving. We're excited to get up again. Good morning. We're at this beautiful oak here, the set we call the old car set. There's an old car down in this ditch. Don't know why it's there, how long it's been there, who owned it, but it's on its side right below us here. And this spot is just one for the ages in terms of an incredible setup for a southwest wind. South-southwest is best, and that's what we have this morning. All the bottoms are to our south. There's a big ridge field to our north by 300 or 400 yards. That's cut corn. So we're literally between all the action with the wind kind of going off into this grass over here, and a lot of natural movement through this pinch point where these two draws literally, they start wide down at the bottom and then they come together right here. It's pretty amazing that it even exists. So we're excited to see what happens this morning and enjoy November 2nd. Sweet November. So they're moving pretty good to start the day here. We suspect we'll see some bucks here before long. Literally the perfect morning for November 2nd. I mean, it's perfect out, just a light breeze. But it feels good to be in this tree, I'll tell you that. That's our big 9. That's my second encounter with that guy. And he cut through our draw instead of bonging it up. Big 9-point. I grunted at him. I snort wheezed at him. He just wouldn't come up here. He was working that scrape at 50, but ill-advised shot. I thought after he reacted to the grunt by scraping so hard he'd walk up here, but he didn't do it.
So that last season comes and goes, and I never saw the deer again. Continued to hunt him, but just did not run into him. You know, lots of pictures, and then the pictures started to dwindle, and he just seemed to not move as much as far as I was concerned. And I started wondering, because we had EHD in the area, so every deer that stopped moving as much started making me wonder, does he have EHD? What's wrong? Why is he not moving during daylight? So I really felt like he could be sick and just stop participating. So fast forward to 2024, and spring of 24, we found several really nice bucks dead. Deer that slowed their movement down and then vanished off the cameras, and that deer eventually did. I didn't get pictures of him probably much after mid-December. But summer of 24 rolls around, and boom, there's that giant 9. The straight beam 9 is what we called him off of the pictures from and the encounters the previous year. And I knew immediately this deer was 7.5, clearly a big target, and I couldn't wait to see what the fall of 24 was going to bring. Now, drifting back to fall of 23, October the 16th, here we are a year later to the day, the 16th. I've got the correct wind for that farm and where I've had his picture the most this year. So, can history repeat itself? Wade and I are going to find out. We're heading down into the bottom, right next to the Buck Hotel, one of my favorite places. I've killed some giants here. I killed Disappearing Act here. I killed BW here. We're heading back in, only this year things will be a little different. It's not me and Darren, it's me and Wade, and we're taking a lucky charm. All right, here we go, October 16th. This is only the second time that Wade and I have hunted together this year. We're both pretty pumped up because we rearranged the teams tonight so that 4 different crews could go out, because this is the first south after 3 north, and I really feel like with this pressure, 30.2, this first warm-up after this cold weather we had is gonna be fantastic. And I'm also excited because we've got a couple extra things with us in the blind that Wade and I are taking with us. And for good reason.
Ready to go hunting?
Yeah, we are too. Kyle's at work, and the babysitter had an appointment today, so Wade's got rigs, and to make sure that we all go out, and that rigs has a lot to do in the blind, we've got some extracurricular activities for him. We're going to have school in that blind, we're going to have some fun, and we're going to make sure Riggs understands how important it is to be quiet when you're deer hunting. Right, Riggs?
Know how to whisper? Let's hear it.
Let me hear you whisper. Okay, say, big buck. That's it. You got it, dude. He's got it. Wade's been practicing with him, and we're going to have some fun tonight. He'll be our good luck charm if it happens tonight, that's for sure. So this will be fun. This is my first time going out with Riggs, and you probably haven't deer hunted with him much.
One time.
So this is going to be fun, and perhaps the start of a new chapter for us. But we're going to go out here in the October lull, sit on a big green field where we have a fantastic history. There's some big bucks in this area. We'll see if they show up tonight. If they do, it's all going to be because of Riggs.
Sit up there in the seat. We're going to go real slow here, buddy.
Boy, it is the perfect day. 62 degrees, pressure's 30.2. It's falling a little bit, but it's still high. So we're going to ease down to this bottom and see what we can get into with Mr. Riggs here. But if you look at this grass, this stuff's all 5 to 6 foot tall, maybe a little taller. That goes down into a bottom, and we've probably got, I bet 20 or 30 acres of just nasty, tall, bottom ground cover. But it's in a filter strip program, and we burned it all this spring, and look at the regrowth. We'll show you some of it on the way down, but I mean, this burn did so good. We did a piece about this burn within the turkey season series. We can show some of it now again, but man, did it do good. I mean, it's just absolutely perfect. Look how tall this warm season mixture is as we go past it. You know, I just love habitat improvement. Everything you can do to leave things better than you found them, I think is so important. It's all about conservation and, you know, just helping the resource as much as possible. This benefits everything. The white-tailed deer that we're hunting tonight, wild turkeys, we've got pheasants, we've got quail. It's just a no-lose situation when you've got habitat like this. We set this field one at a time. There was a lot of deer going to that water, so we'll be ready for them. We're gonna unload here. I'm gonna go park the tracker, and then Wade and Riggs are gonna get up the blind, and I'll come meet them, and we'll talk some more about all this habitat. Read that. Well, we're gonna get situated and then we'll look at it, okay? Well, you look at our radishes. Last year we planted them fairly early, and I was watching the trail pictures. They were just mauling them in September, and then all of a sudden the radishes just jumped over a week or so period there, and they got real tall and almost grew beyond palatability. So we waited to make sure that these radishes didn't do that to us this year, so we planted later, and they've only had 2 rains, but this soil is so rich down here. They're still pretty tall, but the deer are still using it and still hitting them, so we were trying to avoid what happened last year by planting later. We'll see if it works and see if that palatability is still there. It's so dry between the pond and the moisture of these plants. It's a pretty good spot to be, honestly. And the cover from the fire, you look out through there, we'll see deer out there tonight. That stuff's all 6, 7, 8 foot tall out there. It's really nasty. The fire jumped it up. We had water early in the spring that jumped it up. So, I mean, the stage is set. The weather's right. We'll see what happens. Get those up. Wow, we were just sitting here kind of getting ready. Wade was getting rigs settled. Look up. Buck came in from our blind side here on the northeast. So we'll see if there's a big one in there tonight. Great sign. This is really early for down here. I love coming here.
shoot, hit him a little high. Sorry about that, hit just a little high. But we just got our buck, Wade. It's a giant. I know. That'll do it. That'll do it. We did it, buddy. Good job. We got a little high, but we got him, Riggs. He's dead right in the field. Yeah. Sorry about the shot. We did it, buddy.
Give Mark a high five.
Yeah. How about a hug, buddy? Talk about a good luck charm. That'll take you anytime. Thank you.
That was fun, buddy.
Are you excited? Yeah. You even got some chocolate? You did good, buddy. That was fun.
That
was awesome. I mean, talk about a good luck charm. Like, that deer and I went round and round last year, and I almost got him killed at the north end of this farm.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome encounter, so close. And I'm always so choosy about my shots because I want to make a good one. I'm sorry I hit him a little high. I don't know if he jumped or what, but I did hit high on that shot. And he went down, and then I made a subsequent follow-up shot, and he's dead in the field.
What do you think?
What do you think, Riggs? What do you think?
Should we go look at him?
Yeah,
let's
I
go
agree.
look at him.
Let's go look.
Go.
That was. Let's go right over here since we can't see him. I'm gonna let you go up to him first, okay?
Go up to that big old buck, his rack. Go check him out.
There he is. Yeah.
Good job.
You found me, buddy. Come on around here. We're gonna put it right here. Just a attaboy.
Good job.
There you go. Just about right there. Now, touch them together.
Pinch them together.
Ah, you did it. Perfect, dude.
Good.
Yeah, you got him. Now we can pick him up. Look at this guy. Huh? How about that, Riggs? Awesome.
It's a big old buck, ain't it, Riggs?
Our good luck charm tonight. Awesome. Well, waiter, we'll get you set up here.
Absolutely. How much fun was that, buddy? That
Yeah.
was good, wasn't it?
Talk about bringing our good luck charm out.
Yeah, it was so much fun. The babysitter was busy this afternoon. Mom was working, so Riggs got to come on his second hunt ever tonight, and it paid off.
Riggs got to go to work with Dad and Mark.
Yep, take your kid to work today, if you will. Yeah.
Yeah, he's fired up now. And what a story leading into all this, Wade. I mean, from last year's encounter where I almost had this big guy killed. He was 6.5 last year. He's 7.5 this year. To planting the plot a little bit later, trying to increase palatability, the way that last year they just gave up on this plot, to the burn that we did.
That was huge. I mean, he come out of the Buck Hotel just like you explained beforehand, and you know, it definitely paid off.
It was pretty awesome tonight with a 7.5-year-old 9-point here in Iowa. Just incredible. Got to shoot the new bow, the new broadhead. So there were a lot of different things that led to this story.
And it was an unbelievable story at that. So it was a lot of fun, and DeerCast was
spot on
once again. So
here we go. We're so thankful for you guys watching this story, and we love bringing them to you, especially when they play out like this. And we brought our good luck charm. Anybody that's having bad luck, if you want to watch Riggs for an evening, I'm sure Wade would go along or let you.
Absolutely, he likes to go hunting. So
grab that Tenzing. That's what I love about it, man. I got a pocket for everything and everything for a pocket in this thing. I carried my fan in on it. I got my jacket, my clothes in there. I've got my ozone in there. I've got my zero trace, my binoculars. You name it, it's in there.
And a punch tag.
And the punch tag, absolutely. Okay, here's the conclusion of this. That's absolutely priceless. We've been in this truck approximately 2 minutes. We're still in the pasture that we drove into. We're not even to the gate. Check out our lucky charm. How about that, Wade?
That's awesome.
That's the exclamation point to the night right there.
Absolutely good stuff.
Talk about a good night for us and for Riggs, and here he is sound asleep. That's cool. So I always look, it's easy in hindsight to look at what has occurred, and upon examination of this deer's hooves, if you look at how deformed they were, that's a classic case of EHD. And my gut was, last year when we had it in the fall of 23, he kind of slowly stopped moving during daylight and eventually not at all. And I was wondering whether he was dead. Well, looking at his hooves, they had healed back over, but clearly he probably was affected with EHD the previous year. Sloughed up hooves with those elongated toenails and just deformed feet are a classic indicator of EHD. I called Grant Woods, showed him to him. He agreed with that.
So my gut says he had it in 23, eventually healed from it. And then if you look at him this year, he's probably a little smaller version of what he was in 2023. He shrunk up a little bit. Well, he was probably sick, made it through the winter, and did not come into the 24 season in full health. Didn't matter to me. 7.5-year-old deer made the shot. Riggs was there. It was all awesome. In terms of size, it really didn't matter. However, the story does matter, and what happened to him does matter, because we live and learn from these types of instances. So I think it's something we can all pull away from this episode. Just because a deer stops moving as much during daylight, oftentimes, it's been my experience, it's a health component. Sometimes they're doed up, often, but then when the season carries on, what happened to them? Did they get an infection? Have they had EHD? You know, did another buck hit them? And something's bothering them from a health component. And I really think it's one of the most misunderstood things about deer and quality of antlers. You think every 6.5 or 7.5 or 4.5-year-old deer is created equal, when in reality, I think a lot has to do with just how healthy they were the year before and then the year that they grow those antlers. So I think health is a very, very important thing in terms of overall herd management and understanding that deer can vary greatly in antler growth from year to year, even though they're getting older. So a lot of it's weather and what type of crops they've had, what the acorn crop was like, what they're eating this summer, but some of it is health and just how healthy they are coming out of the season and then going into the next one.
We're adding new videos every week, so make sure to click that subscribe button and check out all of our amazing content. This episode of DoD TV was brought to you by Matthews Archery.